Please be seated. I am pleased as the Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost to welcome you to the 2017 Berklee College of Music Commencement Exercises. My name is Dr. Larry Simpson, and I'm very happy to give a very special welcome to the class of 2017. Today's graduating class is 1,060 strong, the largest group of people to ever participate in a Berklee commencement program. I will share with you a few facts about the class. Women comprise 32%. 71 countries from around the world are represented this morning. The countries with the most graduates are South Korea with 48, China with 28 graduates, and Canada and Mexico with 21 graduates each. The states with the most graduates are California with 81, Massachusetts with 77, and New Jersey with 44. The oldest graduate is 65 years old. And the youngest is 20. The most popular instruments are voice with 278 graduates, guitar with 229, and piano with 153. Finally, the most popular majors this morning are pro music with 128 graduates, performance with 127, contemporary writing and production with 90, and there are 122 dual majors. We also have 117 students who graduated through Berklee Online this year. We have 7 degree completion students. And this morning, I am really happy to acknowledge that we have our first master's degree students in music therapy graduating today. The Strong Music Therapy 12. I believe you enjoyed last night's concert. Oh my goodness, what a program. It was special, and I want to thank all that helped to make it happen, but I have to give a special shout out to Rob Rose. He did such an amazing job of putting all of this together. And I want to take the opportunity to thank and acknowledge our band, the Berklee Brass Ensemble. The ensemble was performing Beyond All We Do, composed by Joey Epstein and Justin Gates. Epstein is from Northbrook, Illinois, a trumpet principal and a composition and film scoring dual major, and Gates is from Franklin, Vermont, a voice principal and a pro music major. The Berklee Brass Ensemble is under the direction of Dr. Julius Williams, professor in the composition department. Julius, please be recognized. Graduates, as you learned to play in your ensembles and learned to collaborate on projects, as you made your way through a liberal arts curriculum designed to help you think more critically and engage your craft more substantively, you did not earn these degrees and diplomas all by yourself. Please join me in acknowledging your family and friends who helped you get to this wonderful day. Salute them now and show them some love. They feel you. I also want to celebrate all of the mothers gathered today, whether mother by biology or mother by way of love, commitment, and spirit. Happy Mother's Day. Graduates, I call your attention to an illustrious group of very talented and dedicated people that are sitting in front of you. They are the faculty, department chairs, and administrative support folks that made your education possible, provocative, and stimulating. I am very, very proud of the Berkeley faculty. They're some of the finest people you are ever likely to meet. And for all of their accomplishments, however, I am most proud of their commitment to you as students. It is unwavering. This year, the faculty was led in by Faculty Grand Marshal from the Ensemble Department, Professor Carolyn Wilkins. Professor Wilkins, please stand to be recognized. Graduates, now please join with me in giving a hearty salute to the Berkeley faculty. Faculty, chairs, and administrators, please stand to be recognized. Thank you. During the past year, Berkeley lost 5 faculty members who helped many of you develop into the outstanding musicians and people you have become. The first, Victor Bailey, a graduate of Berkeley with a very distinguished career as a composer, producer, and bass player. He returned as an associate professor in the bass department and taught private instruction for the past several years. A tremendously expressive finger stylist, his two-handed tapping traced melodic and harmonic contours in his music, and his signature scat-based solos delighted audiences. Mili Bermejo Greenspan, Berkeley alum and professor in the voice department, who during her 32 years taught many private instruction students, as well as a wide variety of voice and jazz courses. Mili was considered a vocalist of unusual sensitivity and power, who drew upon her native Latin American musical roots and skills as a jazz improviser to create performances that embrace both tradition and originality. Vuk Kalinovich, professor in the composition department, who taught several counterpoint and orchestration courses and directed study in his 11 years at Berkeley. He was hailed by the Boston Globe as one of the most important and interesting composers working in the area or anywhere today. Barry Nettles, a graduate of Berkeley. He taught at Berkeley for 34 years and retired in 2006. He was a foundational member of the Harmony Department, serving as chair for 9 years and later as a professor, and taught almost all of the harmony and arranging courses. Barry was admired for being an excellent writer and woodwind player, as well as being a master carpenter who created and built incredible furniture pieces. Kim Plainfield, professor in the percussion department, who taught his popular funk and fusion repertoire classes, various ensembles, and many private instruction students during his 15 years at Berklee. He was widely known during his successful performance career for combining extraordinary technical abilities with versatile musicality into developing his very special brand of Afro-Caribbean and Brazilian music. And we remember them all. Last month, Beyoncé established the Formation Scholarships for women and undergraduate or graduate students. And Berklee was one of only 4 schools that she selected to receive the scholarship. Needless to say, we are thrilled. The scholarship is for $25,000. Bay don't play. So I thought I would conclude my remarks to you with a few musical quotes. And obviously the first one has to come from Beyoncé. And it comes from Lemonade. And since these are formation scholarships, from the track Formation. And even before I get through this, I know you're gonna know what I'm going to say, so you can say it with me. Always stay gracious. Best revenge is your paper. How fitting is that today? By the way, is anyone still carrying hot sauce in their bag? Some of you love praise songs, and Chance the Rapper said in Blessings, after drinking all night, don't make songs for free, make them for freedom. Anderson .Paak, who is opening for Bruno Mars here in October, in The Bird said, I learned my lessons from the ancient roots. I choose to follow what the greatest do. I hope you learned that lesson at Berklee. Thank you. I now have the honor of introducing members of the stage party. In the front row, we have the chair of the Board of Trustees, Ms. Susan Whitehead. Ms. Whitehead, please stand. And to her right are other members of the Board of Trustees. Board members, please stand and be recognized. I also present to you the senior leadership of the college. Colleagues, please stand and be recognized. And to my right is the president of the college, Roger H. Brown. Roger, please stand. And we also have our candidates for the degree of Honorary Doctorate of Music, who will be introduced by President Brown later in the ceremony. I would also like to introduce some special guests who have joined us this morning and are sitting in the front row. We're pleased to welcome Mr. Tom Overby, the husband of Lucinda Williams. Also happy to say good morning to Lisa Parigi, who is the girlfriend of Lionel Richie. I'm pleased to introduce you to Michelle Tebby, who is the girlfriend of Neil Portnow. And we're happy to have with us Michelle, Todd Rundgren's wife. There will be a reception where faculty, graduates, and families can meet after this ceremony at the fitness center next to this arena, and there will be guides to show you along the way. And now it's my pleasure to bring to the podium our board chair, Ms. Susan Whitehead, to offer greetings. Susan.
It's a privilege to be speaking with you. On behalf of the Board of Trustees of Berkeley, I wish you all a very, very warm welcome to everybody who's gathered here. As our provost said, we're welcoming our spectacular graduates, their families who have stuck with them throughout this journey, their friends, our dedicated faculty and staff, and our honored guests. So music unites each one of our Berkeley graduates. Music in all of its forms. It brings us all meaning. It expresses emotions. It gives us understanding. It is an expression of ourselves and of our world. It provides joy. It provides exploration, and it provides beauty. That's what brought you here from every part of the world. So graduates, this is your day to honor your passion, your very hard work, and your many accomplishments. We gather to celebrate with you, to celebrate each one of you, and wish you the very best for your futures. We ask you to stay in touch with Berkeley. Stay in touch with your Berkeley family, your friends, and your mentors who have been with you these years. They will sustain you. They will benefit you throughout your entire life. But for now, for today, a huge congratulations, and really enjoy this significant day in your lives. Thank you.
I now have the pleasure to bring forward Professor Carolyn Wilkins, who will bring greetings on behalf of the faculty. Professor Wilkins.
Hi, everybody. Carolyn Wilkins here. I'm so honored to be here. And I extend, on behalf of the faculty, greetings to the class of 2017. When I graduated from college in 1973, my classmates and I refused to wear robes or march at our graduation ceremony. When I was a student at Oberlin, the United States was going through a period of profound social upheaval. There were riots in the inner city neighborhoods of Chicago, Detroit, and LA. And just about an hour's drive from our campus at Oberlin, 4 students were killed by US National Guardsmen while protesting the Vietnam War at Kent State University. Sadly, today's world is also riven by hatred, bigotry, intolerance, and injustice. Truth be told, the social climate for the class of 2017 is perhaps as turbulent as it was in 1973. As I wrote this speech, it occurred to me that you, the graduates, might be contemplating the same issues I struggled with as a newly minted conservatory graduate more than 40 years ago. In a society that seems to place less and less value on the importance of the creative arts, how can I make a difference in the world? Yeah. Here at Berkeley, we know instinctively that music matters. We've experienced, yes, we can clap for that. Yeah. We've experienced firsthand the power of music to enliven minds, move bodies, and open hearts. The ancient Greeks, who knew a thing or two about running a democracy, took music very seriously. Plato actually believed that the practice of musical innovation was dangerous and should be outlawed. When the modes of music change, Plato wrote, the fundamental laws of the state always change with them. Yeah. Think on that. The playwright Bertolt Brecht had something similar in mind when he said, art is not a mirror held up to reality, but a hammer with which to shape it. Quiet as it is kept in our relentlessly materialistic society, you and your music can and will make a difference in the world. That's right. Whether you are playing in your living room or on stage at Yankee Stadium, your music is powerful. Why? Because we are all connected to each other and to the universe in ways we are only beginning to understand. As MIT professor Edward Lorenz put it, the change in the way a butterfly flaps its wings in Brazil can produce a tornado in Texas. It's true. Science. I know for a fact that each and every one of you is 1,000 times more powerful than any butterfly. With the simple act of choosing to make music your calling, you are making a difference in the world. So flap your wings fearlessly, graduates. The techniques you learn today may eventually grow obsolete, but the problem-solving skills and resilient spirit that you have acquired during your stay at Berkeley are guaranteed to last a lifetime. On behalf of the faculty at Berklee College of Music, I salute you.
Today's student speaker was chosen through a very special process. All graduating seniors were invited to submit speeches that they felt would motivate their classmates. A review panel of 4 finalists, a review panel chose 4 finalists who delivered their speeches to the panel, and the winner was chosen. And now, here to deliver the graduating senior address is pianist and film scoring major Karis Tan, who is from Tanamera Crest, Singapore. Karis.
Good morning, President Brown, Board of Trustees, Berkeley faculty and administration, honored guests, and colleagues in the class of 2017. What an insane privilege it's been for me to spend the past 4 years of my life watching the metamorphosis of every friend around me, discovering what they truly want to do with the gifts they were given. Berkeley is a place that brings students together from all over the globe and then sends them out again to make a difference in society and communities scattered across the world. The fact that I got to be a part of that blows my mind every day. Berkeley's culture comprises many facets. One of them is selflessness. I was a film scoring major, and during one of the lectures in my senior seminar, a visiting speaker asked each of us why we were doing film scoring. Not a single student brought up fame, prestige, or glamour. No one even came close. Some talked about storytelling, about bridging gaps between people. Several mentioned meaningful pursuits, like scoring for documentaries and shedding light on social issues, as things they wanted to explore. One student talked about her first encounter with film music. It was John Powell's How to Train Your Dragon score, which coincidentally is central to the Berkeley film scoring program. She was so deeply moved by the power of music that it instantly became her dream to similarly provide that kind of experience for others. Berkeley's culture is a culture of both uncompromising integrity and uncompromising relevance. Those can seem at odds, but they are valued in Berkeley with equal fierceness. The greatest wisdom imparted to me by professors at Berkeley has been about being honest and staying true, as much as it has been about excellently communicating this honesty and truth. It's something every Berkeley student must learn to navigate. This is why students and professors here can all have conflicting tastes, preferences, and opinions, but all share deep respect for personal voice and what an individual finds resonance with. Honestly, Berkeley would not be anything vaguely close to the institution that it is without its powerful faculty. These people are visionaries who dare to believe and invest in the next generation, and who do so with such great passion. A good friend of mine, a jazz composer, wow, my hat. These things are hard. A good friend of mine, a jazz composer who graduated from Berkeley, shared with me that until he started graduate school at another college, he took for granted what the incredible richness of diversity at Berkeley meant for our learning. His compositions were so complex and explorative, and he would have heated disagreements with the professors and students at Berkeley. Upon leaving, however, he realized how hugely the disagreements, or rather the way they were handled, with open-mindedness and acceptance, contributed to his education and his ability to grow musically. Even though there were tensions, no pun intended, Berkeley professors were not rigid in their approach, so students had the opportunity to experiment and be themselves without feeling constricted. As my friend reminisced and complained about his present circumstances, where there was only one fixed way to play or compose, I thought about how much we can extrapolate this to life. At Berkeley, we are taught how to agree to disagree. We learn that we all hold different pieces to a giant puzzle and that we can live together in harmony. This pun is completely intended, because we all know that harmony is anything that isn't a singular note. Harmony necessitates difference, and yes, some tensions do make harmony much more exciting. Being a student during this time, I want to see beyond music to a world that is hurting. I think that music empowers us to escape it or to enter it. It provides a path to run from it or run straight into it. Most people I know start out running away. They start out by blocking out the problems around them with their electric guitars and their lyrics, with their soundproof rooms and their Bose headphones. And then they suddenly reach this point where they make a decision to turn around. Music presents the individual with an equal choice to escape the world and its problems or to invade it with light, hope, and love. And to me, Berkeley is a place that helps turn people around from the former to the latter. My hope for us today, as we embark on the next phase of life, is that all of us, collectively, take what music and art have done for us and impart it to others in whatever capacity we can. To so many, music is a celebration of the self. Pursuing music can be all about self-expression, and then it can become even more about how much I can do on my instrument and how many records I can sell. But I believe that music is actually all about laying one's ego down. And I believe this because for me, the best music has been music that deflects attention from the artist and directs it to my own hopes, fears, memories, and dreams. For me, the best music has been the music that makes me not necessarily want to be a better musician, but a better human. As a graduating class, I know we are all very grateful for our Berkeley education, for the tools it has provided us with to succeed in the industry. And to end today, I would like to offer that the measure of our success is not whether we become wealthy or popular or famous. It is whether we are true to the gifts that we were given. So congratulations to all my friends in the class of 2017. Let's go and change the world. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. That was very well done. Thank you so much. Next, we have the senior video. This has become a much enjoyed tradition at commencement. Every year, the graduating senior committee produces a video to capture their views and feelings about their experiences at the college. This year, the video is titled, On the Move. To introduce the video, please welcome 3 members of the committee of seniors who produced it. Lee Kong-Ong Sean Gon, Daniel Hale, and Andrea Michael. Please come forward.
Hello, everyone. So, I guess this is the time we all been waiting for the senior video. So, this is gonna be fun. The process was pretty fun. Thank you, class of 2017, for being willing to meet us and shoot the video, for sending your original music compositions, and also your pictures for the very end. So basically, this video, just a brief introduction, is for you, for us, for 2017 class. We're gonna watch this after 5, 10 years, and we're gonna remember how we were following our routines here at Berkeley. So basically, you will remember the nights we were partying, and then we were getting wasted, and but we had a 9 a.m. next morning, but because we love Berkeley, we were still going to 9 a.m. classes. Also, you will be remembering the first time that you met your roommate. You didn't really like her, but then you cannot even say a proper bye because you still love her. Livy, I love you. That's it for parents. You're gonna see this video. We're gonna introduce you in the word, in our word, the Berkeley word. how we were going through finals, how we were going through our routines here. So thank you. Here I have with me Sean Gunn and Daniel Hale. My name is Andrea Michael. We are the Berkeley Video Services Committee. Congratulations to everyone and enjoy the video.
The edge of the machine, the age of the machine, the edge of the machine, the age of the machine, the edge of artificial animals, moving forward through the end of times. The edge of the machine has begun.
When I first come to Berkeley, it felt kind of lonely but friendly at the same time, because people here are just like so enthusiastic, telling you like, "Hi, this is Berkeley," and
yeah, I
do you need
remember
any
the
help?
orientation. Yeah, then we went to BPC, and I was really surprised, like by the president's speech.
What I challenge you to do is see this as a place where cooperation is in all of our interests. Success for one Berkeley alumnus or alumna creates success for dozens of others. I see it over and over again. Anyone who gets a toehold and starts earning a living always brings along friends of theirs. So not only should you get to know people and network and all that stuff, but make real genuine friendships. Get to know people in a deep way.
Every time I need a little peace and quiet, oh, but she's counting my name. Hey, and I'll be damned if I ignore. Gotta do what she says. Even if I'm right, 'cause if I want her loving, oh, I gotta behave. And oh, this is love's and short. Talk to the horns. Hey.
I mean, Berkeley has a lot of opportunities for collaboration. Before Berkeley, I had the luxury of writing whenever, and then Berkeley hits you with deadlines, and you have to write a lot of music really quickly, which I think is a pretty useful learning experience to have.
Like, I'm really thankful because right now I'm applying for a master's program,
nice.
like New York and LA, and even Berkeley's Valencia program. But at the same time, like one thing I'm looking forward to is kind of freelancing as a studio engineer.
It's crazy to see like from the point you came to the school to like the end where you're just like, wow, I can do all this stuff. And then you see people like requesting, hey, can you do this for me? And it's like, you need these two songs put together with the vinyl scratch in between.
Right,
so
yeah.
That's like something I can do in like 10 minutes.
Just a few steps to victory. Be confident, then you'll be free. Put your past in custody. We fight till we change history. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. We fight till we change history.
Favorite teacher, John Aldrich definitely is one of them for sure. Marty Walsh, a lot of amazing teachers, so many to can't even think of them all.
It has to be Ross Brasler.
Libby House.
Enrique Gonzalez Mueller. My favorite class at Berkeley was Self-Accompanying Singers with Janie Barnett.
Berkeley Contemporary Orchestra.
Probably private instruction because that's where I got to sing. The songwriting.
MP 385 with Mark Russell.
The film scoring practicum with Allison Plan.
Electronic production for writers with Luden Stearns.
My Spanish is quite rusty. Oh, my German's rather dusty. I never hear the voice I'm looking for, and I know I'm far away. I think I'd rather be in Boston. I'd rather be in Boston.
Good morning. I'd like to acknowledge two college presidents who are with us today. My colleague from Boston Conservatory, Richard Ortner, who will be retiring in just a couple of days, and former trustee of Berklee College of Music, Ron Crutcher, who's now the president of University of Richmond. Thank you all for being with us. Berklee College of Music's honorary Doctor of Music degree was established in 1971 following the college's 25th anniversary to recognize those musicians and industry figures who've earned the overwhelming respect of their peers. Duke Ellington was the first recipient of the honorary doctorate and was followed by artists such as Sarah Vaughan, Sir George Martin, Quincy Jones, Dizzy Gillespie, Bonnie Raitt, Pat Metheny, B.B. King, Paul Simon, Sting, Alison Krauss, Harry Belafonte, Placido Domingo, Aretha Franklin, and many others. Annyeonghaseyo. Shin Jung-hyun is known as the godfather of rock in his native South Korea, having created a new direction of pop, rock, and soul music impacting South Korea and the world today. Born in 1938, he lived all over Asia with his parents before settling in Seoul in 1950. He taught himself to play the guitar, and in 1957, at age 19, Shin won an audition to play at different U.S. Army bases stationed around the country, raising his profile among music fans. He released a solo guitar album under the name Hickey Shin, after which he started ads for South Korea's first rock band in 1961. Throughout the 60s and 70s, Shin gained notoriety as a producer, working on superstar sister act the Pearl Sisters' commercially successful album Nima. He wrote and produced hit records for additional artists during this time period, changing the landscape of South Korean music. The owner and president of Now Again Records and an NPR music contributor, laud Shin, this is Ethan Alapat, laud Shin with creating music for the masses, but also for the eons. His run of solo albums and productions from the late 1960s until the 80s are amongst the greatest in the global music canon. In the 1970s, Shin began to face challenges in South Korea when he was asked to create and perform pro-government music. When he refused, he was politically blacklisted, and his music became outlawed for many years. After years of government oppression, Shin experienced a renaissance in the 1990s when a new generation discovered his music. His influence on music in South Korea and throughout the world continues to grow. CJ Group Vice Chairwoman and Berklee trustee Mickey Lee calls Shin, quote, a pioneer of Korean rock, soul, and funk. He's the godfather behind the growth of Korean popular music. And pop music superstar and Berklee alum Psy calls him the founder of rock and roll music in Korea. In 2009, Fender honored Shin with a custom shop tribute series guitar, making him the first Asian musician to ever receive a tribute guitar from the renowned brand. Calling Shin, quote, an absolute legend, Richard McDonald from Fender says, an ever-evolving artist, his body of work spans 1960s psychedelic rock to 80s power pop, all done with a serious dose of a guitar virtuosity. For his pioneering virtuosity and lasting influence on Korean popular music, it is my pleasure to present Berklee's honorary doctorate of music for the first time for an artist from South Korea to Mr. Shin Jung-hyun. If the Grammy Awards are music's biggest night, then Neil Portnow might have music's biggest job, one that extends far beyond the industry's most prestigious event. Over the course of Neil's 15-year tenure at the Recording Academy, the organization has transformed into a powerful arts advocacy group that works year-round to update music laws, protect music education, and provide critical assistance for artists and music professionals in need. A passionate supporter of creators' rights, Neil has amplified the music industry's voice in Washington, forging an alliance with the Recording Artists Coalition and establishing the Grammys on the Hill initiative, which brings artists and music professionals to the Capitol to lobby on issues critical to the industry's future. Clive Davis said, quote, "Neil has represented all of us with sensitivity, dignity, and know-how. We have been very fortunate that he's been the industry spokesman, our representative, and the leader in fighting 24/7 for musicians and music everywhere." Congresswoman Nancy Pelosi added, quote, "There's no more fitting recipient of this honorary degree. Neil's tremendous leadership at the Recording Academy strengthens and supports the recording artists, songwriters, and producers who give voice to our democracy." Launching the MusiCares 20th anniversary giving campaign, Neil has overseen record-breaking revenues for an initiative that's become known as the Red Cross of the music industry, with programs offering both vital assistance to music people in times of crisis and recovery treatment for those struggling with substance abuse or addiction. Taylor Swift writes, quote, "Neil is the heart and soul of the Recording Academy. He is an advocate, an ally, a champion, a sounding board, a friend, and a comrade to musicians everywhere. He cares about us and our well-being so passionately because he's one of us." And in fact, Neil is one of us. Above and beyond his work at the Grammy Foundation, he's also an accomplished bassist, and he told me he was very impressed with our bass players last night, by the way, and guitarist. His high school band, the Savages, recently did a 50-year reunion in recording. Quincy Jones added, quote, "Neil has always understood the vitality of our music and the importance of protecting it and its creators. A prominent spokesman for music education, Neil has promoted the importance of keeping music alive in our schools by expanding the Academy's Grammy Camp, Grammy Career Day, and Grammy Signature Schools programs. He led the effort to open the Grammy Museum at LA Live, and last year oversaw the museum's expansion to new branches in Mississippi and Nashville. And let's not forget music's biggest night, the Grammys, which have enjoyed stellar ratings under Neil's leadership, averaging 28 million viewers over the last 7 years, that continue to remind people about why music is so important. So for his steadfast advocacy for musicians, music education, and the industry as a whole, I'm delighted to present Berklee's Honorary Doctor of Music degree to Neil Portnow.
Thank you and good morning. Thank you so much, President Brown. And you know, I'm much more accustomed to giving awards to others. I am beyond humbled to be receiving this award today, along with the other distinguished honorees, and particularly an honor of this magnitude. Now, if you look at the screens, I think we have some visuals here, maybe. Yes. You'll see a picture of my grandfather, Morris Portnow. He came to America from Russia in the late 1800s to escape the persecution there at that time. He had such limited resources that he had to come by himself, scrape up enough money over time to be able to pay for my grandmother to come and join him here in America. Now, he never really went to a school where he could wear that cap and gown, but when one of my uncles graduated from law school in New York City, he seized the opportunity to don the outfit. He got a picture to be able to proudly display it, since it made him feel like a more important and respected person. Now, 2 generations later, as a kid, I was always smitten with music, and I begged for guitar lessons at the age of 6, and that was after seeing Elvis Presley on television. Now, here's a picture of me a few years later after studying with my guitar teacher, who had the phenomenal name for a guitar teacher. His name was Mr. Solo. How great is that? Now, President Brown has already graciously told you a little bit about my career, which has been and continues to be of storybook proportions, and for which I am eternally grateful. The kind of work that I get to do every day, the people with whom I get to work, are constantly inspiring. Here's another picture of a couple guys I'd like to have a band with, Paul and Ringo. And then this next picture, I'm in the band. And the next picture here is one of those awards I get to present. I do get to present some amazing awards. This was extraordinary because it was to President Obama in the Oval Office, and he won a Grammy for spoken word. In this case, it was the book on tape that he recorded, and he got his Grammy Award. Truly amazing, right? It just shows that if you follow your dreams and keep an open mind on how to achieve them, anything is possible, which is what happened to me. And to that point, Berklee can be very proud of having recipients of 275 Grammy and 88 Latin Grammy Awards so far, and more surely to come from some of you folks. We're ready for you. So today's ceremony and honor take me a full circle from that picture of my grandfather in 1926 to today, when I get the privilege of wearing the robes and giving my relatives the very unexpected pleasure of a doctor in the family. I know they would be very proud, and I know I'm deeply grateful to Berklee and deeply moved by this experience today. Thank you so much.
Lionel Richie has earned his spot among America's greatest songwriters. Hailing from Tuskegee, Alabama, Lionel got his start in the 1970s with the funk soul band The Commodores, with whom he wrote and sang such hits as Easy, 3 Times a Lady, and Sail On. He became a solo artist in 1981 and released a dozen albums. Those recordings yielded 13 consecutive top 10 singles, including the #1 songs Truly, All Night Long, Say You, Say Me, Hello, and Dancing on the Ceiling, among others. Stevie Wonder, you've heard of him, says, quote, "This man wrote songs for the country and the world. He penned R&B and pop songs that were appreciated from Harlem to London. And let us not forget We Are the World, the anthem he co-wrote with another great, the late Michael Jackson. It was a call for humanity to help a starving people. Lionel, on this day, May 13th, which happens to be my birthday, I celebrate you. And may I add personally that the first time my wife and I heard We Are the World, we were in a refugee camp for Ethiopian and Eritrean refugees in Sudan, where we worked for 2 years. And it is impossible for me to not cry when I hear that song, because we were in a very isolated place doing very difficult work. And to know that people like Lionel had our backs really made us, gave us a deep sense of appreciation. The best songwriters write songs the whole world knows, says producer David Foster. Lionel Richie writes songs the whole world sings. You must include his names with those of Rodgers and Hammerstein, Cole Porter, Lennon and McCartney, and Elton John. Lionel lives in rare air, and if he had not been born, pop music would most definitely sound different in 2017. Producer, rapper, and singer-songwriter Pharrell Williams writes, Lionel is the ultimate musical alchemist. Anytime you hear a Lionel Richie song, it takes you back to the moment you first heard it. And I suggest it's not an exaggeration to say a few of you were probably conceived when your parents listened to a Lionel Richie song. Lionel has won 5 Grammys, an Oscar, a Golden Globe, 16 American Music Awards, and 5 People's Choice Awards, among others. In 2016, he received the Songwriters Hall of Fame highest honor and was named Grammy Musicare's Person of the Year. Renowned producer and Berklee alumnus Quincy Jones says, Lionel, you are a master songwriter, musician, performer, and the epitome of the standard which today's graduates should aspire to. But more importantly, you are a wonderful human being who has always understood the importance of using your God-given talents for the betterment of mankind. And Berklee trustee and entertainment attorney Joel Katz explains, Lionel Richie has helped many, many people. His heart is pure and he's a very charitable man. Lionel is indeed a musical superstar, but he is also a real-life superstar. Having sold more than 100 million records, Lionel is also one of the top-selling artists in music history, and he will share his music with fans around the world this summer. For his contributions to contemporary culture, his humanitarian efforts, and the joy his music brings to so many, it is my pleasure to present Berklee's Honorary Doctorate of Music to Lionel Richie.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Let me just say this started out in Tuskegee, Alabama, sitting in class, and what I heard for most of my career, my life, not my career, Mr. Richie, would you like to join the rest of the class? Which meant I was daydreaming. Had no idea what my macroeconomics teacher was saying. I was doing that in the room. And then I realized I was definitely listening to some other place. So my fellow Martians, welcome to the other side. I'm going to say this to you, and I want you to honestly believe this. I sat there with my father and mother and grandmother, and I tried to explain to them that I'm going to venture out of the academic side of the Richie family and step into the world of music. We were going to be the Black Beatles, the Commodores. We were going to take over the world. I can't use the words my dad said to me at that moment. It's Sunday and it's Mother's Day. But he was clear that I was one damn fool in the family. And then 5 years passed. And 1 hit record, 5 hit records, 10 hit records. And Barbara Walters was interviewing my father. And he said, Mr. Richie, what do you think about your son? He said, I think it is the job of every parent to stand firmly behind the child in his endeavors. which means your parents can be paid off. It's very simple. Let me just say to you, as a songwriter, I started out as a dreamer, just like you all. I started out as a kid who had ideas about the way the world should be, but I thought for a moment, how do you tell the world what's on your mind? You are sitting in the prime seat to tell the world what they need to know. And I want you to understand, that I started out writing a lyric. I didn't know what I was doing exactly, but giving my thoughts of what I thought love could be and life could be and the philosophy behind this. And then as time went on, people would come up to me and say, Lionel, I was contemplating committing suicide. And your lyrics got me through a very difficult time. Lionel, I was married on your song. Lionel, I was engaged on your song. Lionel, I was divorced on your song. I had babies on your song. And then I realized that what I was doing was getting through. And the day that it humbled me, in fact, there were two occasions. The first one, Nelson Mandela had just come out of prison. And we had a group of us to bring him to New York and to LA. And there were lines of people waiting to meet Madiba. And I remember he caught my eye from, I was in the back of the room, and he walked over to me, broke the line, walked over to me, and he said, "Young man, I want to thank you for all the lyrics you've written, because your words got me through many days in prison." And it was at that point in my life, I realized I had no words, just tears. I broke down on his shoulder. I realized that I was holding my father. I was holding the struggles of a nation and a world and a culture, and I made a difference. And then the second one was last night. Last night, who would have ever thought the students of Berkeley would bring me to tears on my own songs? My God. I have performed We Are the World, and I have performed those songs many times, but last night, you brought back a thought in my head when you were singing We Are the World. I have enjoyed some of the greatest writings with the greatest artists of forever. But I certainly wish that Michael Jackson would have been there with me last night to share that moment, because what I saw on your faces was the enthusiasm, the passion, the drive, the love, the dreams. I saw it. You waved at me, you hugged me. I walked on stage and I thought I was joining the Commodores all over again. I'm going to say this to you before I close. It's over. God can only do for you what he can do through you. You are the I am in the world. You are God's tool. Use it wisely. Thank you very much for this honor, and I will definitely sing your praises as I travel around the world. God bless you. Thank you.
I hate to irritate this year's graduates, but Dr. Ritchie asked me if it would be okay if he came back and did a few master classes next year at Berkeley, and I thought about it for a moment and I said, well, of course, anytime, anywhere. I'm going to break from the alphabetical order of the presentations and introduce Lucinda Williams next, since after Todd Rundgren, he'll deliver his commencement remarks. It's not enough to call Lucinda Williams a trailblazer. For over 3 decades, the folk rock siren's career has been driven by literal and figurative travel to new musical territories. Those roads have led her to Grammy Awards and accolades from national media, including Time magazine, which deemed her America's best songwriter. It's no surprise then that her albums contain titles such as Car Wheels on a Gravel Road, West, and most recently, The Ghosts of Highway 20. The gravel roads of Williams' music have prompted fans and critics alike to rethink the meaning of genre classifications such as country, folk, and rock, as her work never seems to hang comfortably in one camp. Her uncompromising artistic vision often left the industry wondering what to do with her powerful expressions at a time when Americana and alternative country did not really exist as categories. Given the impact those genre descriptions have had on contemporary American music, Williams was clearly blazing trails, and her legions of admirers rushed to affirm her place as a songwriting pioneer. Legendary jazz rock bassist and producer Don Was says, quote, "If Berkeley ever launches a degree program in raw, soul-stirring interpretations of one's own riveting and poetic songs, I nominate Lucinda to chair that department." Even before he had the opportunity to join Williams in the studio, guitarist and Berkeley alumnus Bill Frisell knew that she brought something rare to the table. From the first time he heard her, he says, quote, "I felt like she was speaking directly to me. She is the real deal, one of a kind, her own voice speaking for us and to us." Chair of the Berkeley Songwriting Department, Bonnie Hayes, writes, "Even Lucinda's simplest songs are rich in literary detail, and the voices and stories of her flawed characters ring true. Listening to her is like going to songwriting school and church, all rolled into one." Lucinda's first 3 Grammy Awards came to her in 1997 as the songwriter of Passionate Kisses, as interpreted by Mary Chapin Carpenter. According to Carpenter, the song has become a touchstone not just of her career, but also her identity as an artist. Quote, "When I sing it, I feel that I'm inhabiting a perfect song. So you can imagine how much it has meant to me to have it on the set list nearly every night for the last 25 years. With a slew of awards under her belt, perhaps one of the most intriguing is a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Americana Music Association, an organization, it's safe to say, that wouldn't exist if it had not been for the many lesser-known highways Williams has boldly opened through her music. For her trailblazing songwriting and her impact on American music, I'm pleased and delighted to present Lucinda Williams with an honorary doctorate of music.
I think what Lionel was saying was so much of what I would say, from my own personal, experiences and everything. But that was just beautiful. It made me cry. And last night I was brought to tears the opening song, Passionate Kisses, and just, you know, I never thought, sorry. It's just so humbling to see that and all the work that went into it, and the musicians and beautiful singers, and you know, it's just so sweet. And the thing that I'm feeling about this, and I felt last night, was, you know, you just feel the love in the room. You know, it's not about being famous or egos or anything, you know. We're all on the same level, and I didn't even, to be quite honest, I didn't finish high school. It was, because I went to high school in the 60s, and as a form of protest, you know, every morning we had to stand up and say the Pledge of Allegiance. And so I stood up, but I didn't say it, because that was my way of protesting the war in Vietnam. And so one morning I got to school, and I was sent to the office for handing out SDS leaflets. Students for Democratic Society. 3 of us got sent to the office. While we were in the office, the Pledge of Allegiance came over the intercom system, and we all 3 agreed not to say it, and we were all 3 indefinitely suspended. And I went home, and my father said, "That's okay, we'll get you an ACLU lawyer, and we'll get you back in school." And it was determined to be unconstitutional, and so they let me back in. And then my dad asked me, and my dad was very liberal-minded politically, but he said, "Honey, can you please try to stay out of trouble for the rest of the year?" Well, that didn't prove to be the case, because the next thing that happened was I showed up at school, and there was a huge march around the school. NAACP had come over and joined it, and there was no way I could not be in that, you know. I went up to my homeroom at first and looked out the window, and the students who were in the classrooms were spitting down on the demonstrators. And so I had to go join the march, and they brought paddy wagons over and everything, started throwing the kids in there. So I went home, and my dad was a little not too happy about that. We were gonna live in Mexico City the next year, because my dad had a grant to teach. We thought I'd get to school in Mexico, but I didn't have the right papers, so I couldn't get in school there. So that year, when I would have been a junior in high school, I was just out of school the entire year, reading and playing my guitar and stuff. And then the next year we moved to Fayetteville, Arkansas, and my dad pulled some strings and got me into the university there, where I went for about a year until I came of age, and I, you know, left home to pursue my fame and fortune as a singer-songwriter. I, you know, came from a very academic family, and so I was always encouraged to pick something to be passionate about. And my dad said he understood I wanted to be a musician, but please stay in school so I could get a degree in something and have something to fall back on. And that didn't happen. I was actually visiting my mother in New Orleans, and I was supposed to return to school in the fall. And I got a job playing for tips at this little bar on Bourbon Street called Andy's. This was probably the biggest turning point. I called my dad and said, "Dad, I want to stay down here and play. I got this gig instead of coming back to school." And he said, "Okay, that's fine if that's what you want to do," because it was important for me to please my father. And I really didn't intend to talk this long, but anyway, I wish that my dad could be here now. He was a published poet, a Southern poet, as well as being a translator and an editor, and somewhat of a mentor for me when I was learning how to put words together. And so I was very blessed to have had him as a teacher, even though I didn't finish school and get my formal education. But you're doing the right thing. I just wanted to read a quote. The German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche once said, "Without music, life would be a mistake." All of you, each in your own way, have chosen a life in music. And while it may not be easy, you will always have a role in guaranteeing that life will not be a mistake. Thank you so much to the Berklee College of Music for this tremendous honor.
Thank you, Lucinda. And let me just make one parenthetical comment between Lionel Richie from Alabama and Lucinda from Mississippi. It's very nice for a change to have people speaking who don't have accents. To the uninitiated, Todd Rundgren is a pop songwriter known for 1970s hits, I Saw the Light, A Dream Goes On Forever, Hello, It's Me, and Can We Still Be Friends, as well as the 1980s sports arena anthem, Bang the Drum All Day. But his talents and influence run so much deeper than just the memorable songs with which he's commonly associated. He's a guitar virtuoso, a multi-instrumentalist, songwriter, recording artist, producer, pioneer of multimedia and computer technology, and business innovator and entrepreneur. He's a visionary who's made a lasting impact both on the form and content of popular music, making and shaping music that spans genres from pop to prog rock and from electronic music to bossa nova. The long-haired musician from outside Philadelphia has earned a reputation as one of the hardest working people in the industry. In the 70s and 80s, he produced up to 2 albums a year. His 1972 double album, Something Anything, on which he played all the instruments and sang all the vocal parts, as well as self-produced, was ranked as one of the greatest albums of all time by Rolling Stone. He's also produced albums for Patti Smith, Cheap Trick, The Psychedelic Furs, Meat Loaf, XTC, Grand Funk Railroad, and Hall & Oates. And as an innovator, he is credited with producing one of the first music videos on MTV, developing a computer graphics tablet with Apple, and creating an internet music delivery platform. Rundgren has made a lasting impression on those with whom he has worked. Eagles guitarist and vocalist Joe Walsh said, quote, "Todd is one of the most complete musicians I've ever seen. Ringo Starr, who tours with Rundgren, sees him as a multi-dimensional talent. Besides being a fab singer, songwriter, producer, and performer, it's always cool to have Todd on stage with me." Rundgren's latest album, White Night, includes a track featuring Nine Inch Nails' Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. Reznor calls Rundgren a hero. His records, his songwriting, his production, and his musicianship all played a huge role in shaping who I am. Alan Chase, chair of the Berklee Ear Training Department, says, quote, "The excellence and huge variety of Todd Rundgren's life's work as a songwriter, producer, and performer makes him one of the most inspiring figures in popular music, and his appetite for learning is an inspiration to us all." Whatever Rundgren churns out next, and I think there's something out right about now, is bound to be expectedly unexpected. So for his musical virtuosity, versatility, innovative spirit, and his unconventional approach to making and shaping great music, we are pleased to present Todd Rundgren with an honorary doctorate of music.
everybody.
They said I had permission to take the hat off now, thank God. And excuse the glasses. If you're going blind, you might as well look cool while you're doing it. Let me add my congratulations to all of you graduates. I know this is a terrific milestone for you and your families. I want to add a special recognition to everyone who participated last night in that production. You have only burnished the reputation of Berklee School of Music, and I'm sure your school is well proud of you, as you should be proud of yourselves. I am accustomed to public speaking. I do it often, but this is the first time I've ever delivered a commencement, and apparently everyone was afraid I would screw it up somehow, because I've been getting all kinds of suggestions about what I should talk about, and as if the end result would be universal jubilation or mass suicide if I didn't get it right. But what mystifies me the most is why I am standing here and receiving this award, given my inglorious resume in terms of academia. I barely, as Lucinda, I barely graduated high school. I did not go to college. I did not qualify for a music school of the caliber of Berklee. I never would have passed the audition. And to this day, I don't know how to read music. Woo! All right. Obviously, a lot of you hated theory class. Compound that with the fact that I've never had a #1 record, single or album, personally. I've never been nominated for a Grammy. I've never been nominated, thankfully, for the Rock Hall of Fame. If nominated, I will not run, and if elected, I will not serve. And so I came to the conclusion that the only thing that I could possibly give you is my story and let you draw your own conclusions from that. The one thing I did know when I was growing up is that I was a musician, and it was apparent to everyone around me. Unfortunately, I grew up in an environment where that was not necessarily a priority. I was a horrible student. I only wanted to do things that interested me in school, and as soon as I lost interest, I was disruptive, and that continued for pretty much my entire so-called academic life until I just barely graduated out of high school and found myself on the street. And I had two things that I could possibly do at that point. I could try and get a job and generate enough money to go to an engineering school and learn how to program computers, because that was the other thing I was interested in. Or I could just take my chances as a musician, and I spent a couple of weeks on the street and fortunately found my way into a band in Philadelphia. You won't remember the band, by the way. But at the time, I was a guitar player, and guitar was my obsession, literally my obsession. It was the only thing that mattered in my life. I didn't think about songwriting. I had yet to write a song. I didn't feel qualified to be a front man or a singer. The guitar suited me well, and I was able to develop enough technique to impress the people around me and actually get a job in a local blues band, which is what I did. That didn't last very long because there was a lot of upheaval in the music business, and everybody in my band, which was originally modeled after the Paul Butterfield Blues Band, a bunch of white people playing black music, to a band of white people taking acid. So, as soon as they discovered the Grateful Dead, they wanted to go to the country, get their heads together, and I was not quite to that point. So I started a band called the Naz, which lasted about 18 months, and then I found myself on the street again. And this is probably a more pivotal moment even than when the Naz got discovered, because that was an accident that probably couldn't be reproduced. But by the time I found myself on the street, I probably didn't even have a guitar anymore. I was still a musician, but I didn't even have an instrument to play, and I took any job that I could get. I wound up designing lights in a discotheque and living with clothiers in the West Village, which later affected my sense of style, by the way. But I was fortunate that I had left a trail of some good work and got asked to join the Albert Grossman organization, which essentially was a repository for some of the greatest acts in the world. Albert Grossman was the world's premier manager, and they were just starting to get into the record business, and they asked me to come in and interface with a lot of these old folk acts who had yet to get updated to the 60s. That's when this all happened. And I got paired up with acts like Ian and Sylvia and James Cotton and all of these old legacy artists, as well as some new artists. And my big breakthrough was when I was involved in the production of Stage Fright, the band's third album, I believe it was. And from there, I became a very successful producer. And at one point, I got sort of the bug to make a record of my own, a vanity project. I had no intention of becoming a performer. I just felt that I had earned the right to make a record for myself, and I was still writing. I was still learning about writing, actually. I made a record that had a minor hit called We Gotta Get You a Woman on it. It was actually played on the radio here in Boston until militant feminists misunderstood the lyrics and threatened to bomb the station. So the record only got so high, you know, and then it dropped off. And at first I was not a performer at all. I had no idea what it was like to go out and take my music on the road and perform it for people. And when I first performed, I couldn't get through a 20-minute set without blowing my voice out. That's how far behind the performance curve I was. But I persevered at that, and I persevered at the songwriting, and eventually I had a breakthrough. It was called Something Anything, as previously mentioned. And while it had several hit singles on it, the biggest thrill for me was when I met Wolfman Jack, who had like a 500,000 watt radio station broadcasting out of Tijuana, which he did from his home in LA. And he became my champion, and that helped me a lot because he could reach Chicago from Tijuana, which wasn't legal for any American radio station. So Something Anything was a big boon for me. But then people started referring to me as the male Carole King. And I was a Carole King fan, but it bothered me being compared to somebody else. You don't want to be compared to other people. You want other people being compared to you. And I went in a completely 180-degree direction on my next record. It was called A Wizard, a True Star. And I was pilloried by the label as well as the critics for not following up on the success of Something Anything. But there are two things to keep in mind here. I was a successful record producer, so I didn't have to fret about the success of my own records. And secondly, I started to see music as something different than what I had previously assumed. I was writing what everyone else was writing. I had plumbed a broken relationship that I had in high school for 3 whole albums. And suddenly realized I didn't care about this girl anymore. What am I doing? And I also realized there were a whole lot more things in my head musically from my experience. My dad hated rock and roll, so he would never have it played in the house, but I would get to hear Ravel, and I would get to hear Bernstein, and I would get to hear Gilbert and Sullivan, a broad range of stuff that maybe some of you didn't get exposed to when you were especially young, but it all got stuck in me, and I never realized it until that point that that was a significant part of my musical makeup, and that I was writing like a hypocrite. And so I made this crazy record called A Wizard, a True Star, in which I threw out all the rules of record making and decided that I would try to imprint as much as possible the chaos in my head right onto a record without trying to clean it up for everyone else's benefit. And the result was, as I mentioned, a complete loss of about half of my audience at that point. But you mentioned Trent Reznor, and other artists have cited that as being a major influence on them. And so I have a special pride for what essentially was my act of tyranny after having achieved commercial success. And this became the model for my life after that. And the irony was that I never learned anything in high school, but when I got out of high school, I learned to learn. And ever since then, I have absorbed anything that can be put in front of me that is of interest. And so I've learned not only how to expand the range of my musical expression, but I've also learned things like computer programming and video production and other sorts of things which any of you could easily absorb if you don't leave here thinking that your education is finished. Today, this appears to be the end of something, but it's really the beginning of something for you. I recognize there's great loss associated with this ceremony as well as triumph. There are friends that you may be saying goodbye to that you might never see again in your life. But the most important thing that you can take advantage of in the world of music is to see yourself. I eventually got to the point where music meant to me self-exploration more than anything else. I could objectivize my ideas, listen to them, and realize if I was full of crap or not, or whether I might be on the right direction. And I encourage everyone here to be brave in that respect, to be fearless in that respect. I have lost the ability to be insulted by critics. You never know the actual impact of what you do today and how it will actually turn out in the future. That album, A Wizard, a True Star, which was such an abomination to everyone at the time it came out, eventually became the signature moment in my career. And I hope everyone will feel the freedom and the fearlessness to undertake that when the time comes, because you may find that that's your defining moment. And I want to congratulate you once again. Thank you so much for your indulgence.
So to the assembled parents, guardians, and extended families, we welcome you to this celebration. Your sons, daughters, grandchildren, brothers, sisters, and friends have pursued one of the most rigorous courses of study available, one with a workload that can be overwhelming. The knowledge and skills they have accumulated are astounding. They don't fully realize it, but this training prepares them for possible paths inside the music industry and outside it as well. And if we've been successful, they're prepared for a dynamic world in which new careers will be invented, the nature of which we can't even imagine right now. And Berklee graduates, congratulations. We are happy for you and proud of you. And first, a few of you are not quite done. Please, for your own sake and that of your family, finish all your credits and get your degree fully completed so you will not have to call me 10 years from now and say, Roger, is there any way I can get those 7 credits so I can get a job that requires a college degree? Because my answer will be, not instantaneously. We wish you the very best as you leave Berklee and take your next steps. And I hope that your memories of your time here are good ones. I hope you'll continue to derive joy from the simple act of playing, singing, and writing music, whatever your career is. And as we have come together from a significant fraction of the countries of the world, practicing every major religion, speaking a multitude of languages, hailing from tiny rural villages to the world's largest metropolises, so let us hope and work to expand that spirit of a creative and harmonious community far beyond the confines of our small campus. And I would remind you, the good times, the successful times are nice, but don't lose your head when you have a little bit of success. And the bad times can be tough, but don't lose your heart when you stumble. You are strong, you are talented, and you are prepared. Speaking personally, one of the great joys of my job is to follow your careers. I can't wait to track your many accomplishments and to enjoy the fruits of your creativity. And honestly, it's been an honor to be even a tiny little part of your lives. And I can't wait to follow you and welcome you back to the campus. And that's a gift to all of us. I know I speak for the faculty and the administration and the board that we get as much from you as we give to you. So we wish you great success, great prosperity, great happiness, and just encourage you to be true to the thing that brought you here in the first place. Congratulations. So, will the marshals please prepare the candidates for conferral?
Class of 2017, candidates for the Master of Arts, major in music therapy. Seneca Block. Lauren Queso. Rahel Choi. Emily Interrante. Brian Jantz. Kevin Leong. Emily McPherson. Nicole O'Malley. Erin Seibert. Channing Shippen. Thomas Schweitzer. Chantel Whiteside. Candidates for the Music Therapy Equivalency Certificate. J. Benjamin Chappelle. Claire Sung. Candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Professional Studies, major in Electronic Music Production and Sound Design, Rogelio Gallegos. Jonathan McPherson. Major in Electronic Music Production and Sound Design and Music Business, Luis Francisco Pinheiro. Major in Guitar, Christian Hallaby. Major in Interdisciplinary Music Studies, Daniel Christopher Baker. Sydney Ellen Boudman. Paul Gavrani. Nick Kraus. Michaela Angeline Lazar. Christopher Lewis. Major in Interdisciplinary Music Studies and Music Production, Patrick Marshall Waltman. Major in Music Business, Cynthia Basham. Kimberly Begin. Crystal Violet Bickham. Alexander Bodal. Eric Carache. Jaime Rolando Castillo. Derek Clark. Gregory Daniel. Deanna Davila. Amishar Frutkov. Joshua Goodwin. Alyssa Goulet. Joseph Luthborough. Melissa Mason. Brock Moreau. Aaron Moynihan. Janae Patitucci. Bradley Rude. Kobe Lee Sturgeon. Warren Cage Tucker. Caitlin Woodside. Major in Music Composition for Film, Television, and Games, Spencer H. Corwin. Gregory Nathaniel Fisher. Jeff Penny. Major in Music Production, Eric Clayton Berry. Caleb Daniel Cameron. Peter Chun. Kaylee Contoy. Justin Cooper. Daniel Davies. Kenneth Downs. Mario Jose Estrada. Carla Rigelin Hassett. Edward Hinson. Cooper Canoe. Joshua Paul Lewis. Anya Nebel. Daniel Perez. Charles R. Pontalion. James Patrick Prendergast. Pamela Rodriguez. Jonathan Searles. Benjamin Serra. Ronald Strayhorn. Ricky Suem. Blake Talent. Jerry Jason Weathersby. Justin Wells. Major in Songwriting, Christopher Christian Araneda. Drew Victoria Sullivan. Elizabeth Thorpe. Candidates for the Artist Diploma, Major in Performance, Maxime Cholet. Margot Mayette. Candidates for the Professional Diploma, Major in Contemporary Writing and Production, Kaito Ando. Jorge Arenas. Julio Cercato. Jorge Cervantes Romano. Chi Yuan Chang. Valentin Fritz. Augustine Gamandes. Amy Hannah Joe. Tomash Kacho. Unji Kim. Isaac Koteke. Varun Nair. Major in Contemporary Writing and Production and Film Scoring, Gao Lianyu. Ji-Wan Zhang. Major in Contemporary Writing and Production and Performance, Juan Felipe Mejia. Major in Electronic Production and Design, Shuyun Huang. Major in electronic production and design and film scoring, Linda Marie Ponte. Major in electronic production and design and performance, Jonathan Ko Sian Tek. Major in film scoring, Eduardo Garcia Rascon, Kino Lee, Shirley Zhu Ni Song, Yin Sun, Davy Tucker. Major in film scoring and performance, Etienne Monsanjo. Major in jazz composition, Clément Duchany. Juan Diego Fernandez. Brian McShay. Sahil Warsi. Zhang Hanji. Major in jazz composition and performance, Sunri Choi. Major in music production and engineering, Moritz Braun. Cameron Lindesmith. Vasilios Palis. Cornelius Sylvester. Major in performance, Maher Boa. Michele Beneforti. Juan Chiavasa. Camila Chengjioba. Sam Draper. Koda Fukuda. Kodai Hojo. Alex Jones. Risa Kikunaga. Namhae Kim. Yiming Lin. Tanya Mesa. Masaki Miyase. Athanasios Papadopoulos. Adam Petty. Ricardo Pinzon. Major in professional music, Johannes Barmer. Pablo Benito. Jamil Zion Davis Jones. Lilian Caputo. Tatum Armand Flemester. Daniel Hale. Anthony Jolin. Sangzu Kang. Jamil Kassam. Ji-hee Kim. Joaquina Mertz Barberchano. Y. Weston Mohan. Johnny Olaf Reynolds Jr. Pia Salvia. Jacob Patrick Sirzega. Ikuko Tagawa. Joseph Taylor Sikowski. Harold Trucco. Ai Yamashita. Major in songwriting, Brittany Nicole Butler. Wenja Tsai. Ricky Kuanyu Chen. Joylyn Finch Martin. Zachary Hartwell. Max Heibel. Lei Ewen. Talia Siegel. Benjamin Stitt. Leon Waldo. Max Weigert.
Candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Music, major in composition, Monica Shafis. Patrick Alexandru Dakmanov. Pedro Martins da Fonseca. Jan Vincent Huntingberg. Eva Ann Radamanti. Iglo Hoskudar Vigborg. Major in composition and contemporary writing and production, Jose Humberto Ortiz. Major in Composition and Electronic Production and Design, Nikhil Singh. Major in Composition and Film Scoring, Joey Epstein. Vincent Eisler, Jeffrey Clowder. Major in Composition and Performance, Inga Chinalina. Sujin Lee. Major in Composition and Professional Music, Luis Rabasso. Major in Contemporary Writing and Production, Amni Muspira Abdul Rashid. Rachel Alex. Emma Aprile. James Barry. Mateus Taveros. Hugues Bertrand. Elia Bishara. Gunter Brenner. Jose Carlos Campos Aleos. Brenna Carroll. Lucas Seldon. Minyan Shen. Max Clifford Chalice. Bailey Chapman. Jun Hyung Choi. Joseph Debate. Devesh Dayal. Asher Denberg. Evan Dollar. Jeremiah Driscoll. Simon Fagerstedt. Ken Fiedler. Joseph Greer. Weston Guidero. Sunwoo Han. Alexander Raymond Hart. Guyan Marcus Henriquez. Diego Herrera. Tamara Herrera. Beliana Kristova. Ori Jacobson. Unsun Zhang. Sophia Widia Casilla. Suki Kim. Sukyoung Kim. Youngsuk Kim. Kan Kose. Mayer Jean Kushuk. Taiga Kuni. Dong Hyung Lee. Guam Harmony Lee. Yisu Lee. Jae-Shin Lee. Dongjai Lim. Yash Mao. Eduardo Mancini. Nico Frederick Mendoza. Kyle Moskaloff. Gordon Nightinger. Eugene Ng. Christian Nikowitz. Felix M. Nicholson. Franco Nero. Jun Oh. James Paganas. Juhi Park. Nicholas Cameron Petty. Ian Tati. Daniela Pugh. Diego Ramos. Danielle Marvin Rasp. Lydia Reynolds. Michael Roby. Nicholas Seaman. Peng Shen. Farak Sharaf. Jacob Sibi Okumu. Jennings Smith. Miles Sweeney. Emily Texera. Sebastian Torres. Nicholas Vane. Ekanai Vorashatarn. Benjamin Joel Weiss. Brett White. Yonyu Yang. Haram Yoon. Major in Contemporary Writing and Production and Electronic Production and Design. Dong Min Lee. Danielle Thwaites. Nicholas K.J. Wong. Major in Contemporary Writing and Production and Film Scoring. Ison Eidengas. Amanda Castelli. Michael Schultz Frolic Echeverry. Lee Kyung. Sarah Sunyong Kwan. Ju-Sing Lee. Alejandro Moros. Major in Contemporary Writing and Production and Jazz Composition. Guy Bernfeld. Major in Contemporary Writing and Production and Music Business and Management. Hui Ting Chong. Gina Wang. Francisco Lorenzo Alonso. Palipawaran Freson. Adrian Shea Knight Tramp Liguria. Major in Contemporary Writing and Production and Music Production and Engineering. Antonio Escuera. Shuin Guo. Nicole Kwan. Major in Contemporary Writing and Production and Performance. Marcelo Macagnan. Danny Esteban Najai. Rosario Payares. Arthur Sadler. Roman Soto. Michael Yue Wang. Alexander Yen. Major in Contemporary Writing and Production and Professional Music. Swoot Akin Orbe. Major in Contemporary Writing and Production and Songwriting. Seth Campbell. Jessica Faduyon. Carolina Magini. Corinne Savage. Charlotte Swen. Janik Zechner. Major in Electronic Production and Design. Blake Edelman. Samuel Brookman. Jose Luis Castro. Brandon Xavier. John Conchatori. William Cunningham. Dylan Edmonds. James Getzi. Alejandro Gonzalez. Getzel Herzi. Sungil Hung. Keon Chameleon. Junhyun Kim. Rachel Dorothea Knight. Edward Lau. Sung Yoon Lee. Julian Lenz. Cesar Marenco. Tristan James Medjo. Jennifer Messina. Elizabeth Yoon. Samuel Smalley. Christopher O. Emmett Palima. Nia Petrie. Jacob Richter. Quay Shawas. William Schumacher. Aaron John Shapiro. Summer Shen. Rupert Ballard Smith, Kyle Stevenson, Oscar Urbina, Hai Huan Wang, David Wilson, Diami Wilson, Gareth Wong, Tao Yao, Zachary Zabrowski. Major in electronic production and design and film scoring, Peter Barrett-Dew. Bailey Ann Gordon, Yichao Guan, Jesse Hartoff, Turgu Mavu, Anthony Sabatino, DeAnthony Wooten. Major in electronic production and design and jazz composition, Lee Gilboa. Major in electronic production and design and music business and management, Patrick Finazzo. Christian Mambrou. Dunya Murat. Major in electronic production and design and music production and engineering, Johannes Berger. Braden Duncan Germain. Draghi Ivanov. Antonio Miguel Lopez Castelbranco de Avila. Alexander Tux Lowen. Ricardo Washington. Major in electronic production and design and music therapy, Taylor Ryan Lewis. Major in electronic production and design and professional music, Tatiana Phillips. Major in film scoring, Ross Alexander. Vinicius Pipa. John Brotigam. Larissa Rose Chan. Tingpei Chung. Andrew Cho. Brendan Cochran. Andre Correa. Dominic Delore. Carmine DeFlorio. Mark Dolgan. Laurentina Editha. Pio Leandro Gabriel Fernandez. Monica Fernandez. Marcus Fung. Kara Ford. Jacob Skov Freudendahl. Jeffrey Geiser. Amanda Alicia Garcia Duran. Abel Garriga. Sharang Hong. Alex Ic. Gabriel Ivanov. Pratik Kuram. Benjamin Kim. Boyun Kim. Sukyu Kim. Elaine Lizardo Marte. Jing Ma. Zachary Maffris. Gabriel Majut. Jorge Alonso Maldonado. John S. Marunas. Stephen Munoz Walker. Navaneeth Narushiman. Amy Nishida. John Bradley O'Hara III. Enrico Orlandi. Anna Ortiz Wyken. Taylor Page. David Perez McCollum. Timothy Allen Presbolinski. Victoria Ruggiero. Nicholas Salinardi, Chanmi Xiao, Derek Shorter, Ian Silver, Aaron Speldiner, Aaron Shudak, Leon Yamil Subevri Ramos, Hang Fang Su, Noor Irina Taib, Charis Tan, Edward Troiano III, Daniel Trujillo, Ace Trastev Babstarov, Gitai Vincent, Adam Weiss, Christopher S. Witherspoon, major in film scoring and music business and management, Carol Natasha Tamara Cuswanto, major in film scoring and music production and engineering, Joseph William Silento, major in film scoring and performance, Christian Liam Ganti, Dorsey J. Mins, major in film scoring and professional music, Wing Nak Chung, William Sinclair Eastland, Andrea Carolina Melo, Lily Yakonovich, major in film scoring and songwriting, Luke Soren Nielsen, major in jazz composition, Robert Allen, Benjamin Paul Cornelius, Tales de Abreu Correa, Andrew Brian de Nicola, Jiawei Yi, Henry R. Godfrey, Omar Khalif, Andrea Michael, Max William Maloney, Yang Chu, Franklin Anthony Rankin, Gavin Michael Howard, Yosuke Soida, Javier Jose Vivas, major in jazz composition and music production and engineering, Montserrat Guadalupe Garibay Villalobos, major in jazz composition and performance, Ed Samuel Batista, Ricardo Borsato Faria, Zali Gonzalez Zamora, Trevor Bitoma, Paola Andrea Pierce Martin, Esther Wysenova.
Major in music business and management, Haley Ackley, Kendall Marie Allard, Genesis Alonso, Kevin Arndt, Andy Barnett, Emiko Bourne, Samuel Burke, Levi Martin Burrell, Thomas Chardin, Linan Chovi Chen, Sujong Choi, Christopher Cyrus, Zachary Robert Del Vecchio, Max Dvorak, Gwendolyn Eddy, Emma Fairholm, Justin Forche, Matthew Roy Fari, Olivia Jean Florentino, Maggie Frazier, Evan Firth, Luis Gamara, Chelsea Jett. Marcos Jonathan Golergant. Luis Felipe Gomez. Kyle Connor Gratsky. Lauren Green. Cameron Petra Hansen. James Hardy. Caitlin Atier. Ingeveldur Maria Shatataror. Ian Ho Ruin. Lauren Hodge. Sulenun Hali. Jordan Dulan Holly. James Hoff. Francesca Impasado. Jeffrey Yauch. Connor Jones. Hannah Kang. Judanaid Khan. Brianna Kulaso. Michael Kustrasis. Ryan LaForest. Pablo Lalama. Juin Lee. Aaron James Lassard. Miles Manning. Matthew Menino. Marco Maris. James McDermott. Ian Henry McFarlane. Denzel McKenzie. Sulina Miros. Alyssa Joycelyn Michaud. Madeline Ray Miller. Kelsey Lynn Melgren. Joshua Para. Jonathan Parry. Michael Piccolo. Livia Piomelli. Claire Frederick Risch III. Augustus Rivera. Thomas Robbins. Angela Marie Rodriguez. Clint Aaron Rood. Efiu Safu Dodu. Gabriela Victoria Sanjur. Erica Sorano. Jody Muri Slagle. Caitlin Smith. Sheila Solomon. Janani Surish. Olivia Swan. Cecilia Tao. Benjamin Russell Trudeau. Tengwei Venus Tsai. John Forgatos. Andrew Walton. Christian Wilder. Bryce Wilson. Tess Wiltkin. Kevin Kalon Zhang. Nicholas Dean Zotos. Major in music business and management and music production and engineering. Ernest Dideben. Tuen Lin Lioan Do. Jiojin Lee. Paula Park. Major in music business and management and performance. Hao Shu Chen. August Max. Mauricio Morales. Takaki Nakamura. Giovanni Russo. Daniel Schmidl. Praxton Zara Smith. Yitian Yoan, major in music business and management and professional music. Christian Azarian. Lucas Cabano. Christian Porpoise. Caitlin Kat Macaline Daly. Maria Isabel Restrepo Mauricia. Major in music business and management and songwriting. Emily Girolamo. Victoria Madison Leach. Sania Andra Wilcox. Major in music education. Oliver Bernstein. Kimron Ejoy Carter. Laura Ann Edwards. Kate Elmendorf. Faraday Julian Fontemus. John Leiner. Jack Spati. Mikael Leon Jung. Major in music education and music therapy. Juan Jose Flores Liauzia. Natalie Elizabeth Moriarty. Major in music education and performance. Jesse Francesi. Major in music education and songwriting. Danielle Parka. Major in music production and engineering. Dhruv Agawau. Andrew Atis. Yoga Baguspati. Margaret Beltran. Caitlin Banjovi. Hope Bruce. Harry Barr. Charles Chow. Alexander John Chak. Antonio E. Silva. Jose Agosto de Paula Jr. Dylan Del Olmo. Douglas Joseph de los Cabaj. Barack Demir. Nicholas Doring. Lauren Durland. Sean Frawley. David Fuller. Pedro Caglioni. Danielle Getty. Kyle Gordon. Arnav Dev Gupta. Jason Haas. Nima Hamidi. Logan Haynes. Juan Hernandez. Belinda Huang. Peter Edhum Ideso. Eric Heimes. Triton Kanyunasobo. Eloise Kelsey. Esther Kim. Luther Alfred Kinur. Ellie Louvel. Alejandro Levu. Sarah Ma. Elliot Merchant. Stephen Manuel Martinez Bayer. Jesse Mason. Joseph McCarrick. Jacob McKislin. James Melnett. Matthew Meliorino, Vin Melchev, John Miller, Arian Mohamoudi, Alexander Milan Mursin, Anna Muleshin, Peace Nakalasina, Se-Ha O, Nathaniel Stroud Potsfall, Christopher Alexander Pitmetel Paredes, Alex Hoepel, Kevin Prochnow, Kevin Shen, Brian Joshua Uruwatunum, Luis Robert Remenap, Nestor Rigo, Caleb Savari, Kassan Sawahi, Kelly Sayer, Victoria Seagriff, Aaron Shah, Nadab Shapira, Alec Simpson, Dylan Stevenson, Mark Stern, Jason Strong, Grant David Strumbasser, Joshua Taylor, Michelle Taylor, Lior Semak, Yalshin Bora Varsay, Luis Ventura Mendez, Laura Christine Wilson, Wen Xu, Tiano Siliu Yang, Jimmy Yeming Yu. Major in Music Production and Engineering and Music Therapy, Timothy Juan Schwernt. Major in Music Production and Engineering and Performance, Jeremy Bernstein. Rudrago Gramito. Major in Music Production and Engineering and Professional Music, Alvaro Jose Valencia Abeo. Major in Music Production and Engineering and Songwriting, David Arregui. Bo Chow. Ariana Cubillos Volger. Major in Music Therapy, Sharon Stacy Braff. Robert Ray Vargas Bouchard II. Madeline Marie Brown. Brittany Nicole Burns. Odessa Campbell. Christina Casale. Mienchun Chiu. Sandru Chopu. Lucia Clohesi. Maria Isabella Diaz Falcon. Samantha Page Elliott. Calvin Meng. Andreas Comas Evangelatos. Sharon Flaherty. Mark Fuller Jr. Brandon Shah Hassan. Joy James. Melissa Rose Jurowski. Lauren Rachel Kaufman. Sophie Jeromu. Jocelyn Cole. Ye Daum Kim, Eugene Alexander Kunevich, Sophia Lar, Leslie Lawrence, Dana Marie Thiel, Alyssa Nicole Loomer, Gabriela Alejandra Oliver, Elizabeth Caitlin Mendez, Heather Merkel, Elizabeth Miller, Stephanie Rayner, Madison Taylor Salzman, Caitlin Charcel, Daniel Steinbrink, Kristen Stockel, Michi Tassi, Edmund Choi, Huayo Sui, Zishayo Huang, Krista Warner, Leah Marie Genevieve Vigel, major in music therapy and performance, Shatihi Rawal, major in music therapy and songwriting, Sophia Paula Quiones Barfield,
major in performance, Zachary Mason Oslander, Michael Bala, Eunice Belgen, Ella Boisenalt, Troy Bourgeois, Sean Bresnan, Esteban Campagna, Michael Kenjami, Jose Miguel Castro Whitting, Jennifer Hei Yun Choi, Yun Jong Choi, Phoebe Chow, Jacob Korlang, George Crotty, Lyndon Crumrine, James Davis, Greer Davison, Morgan Diezik, Evan Eubanks, Daniel Feldman, Eli Feller, Julinar Gamboa, Virginia Garcia Alves, Alex Gasser, Sosa Galorad, Maximilian Garrel, Daniela Germani, James Goldman, Elio Gomez, Victor Gonzalez, Cole Holland, Jake Howard, Yun Rong Go, Nicholas Hyman, Erica Ishiyama, Yu Yong Yang, Jerome Qatar, Jennifer Kim Landy, Tyler Last, Jae Min Lee, Se Byuk Lee, Sylvie Lays, Jacob Lightsey, Madeline Law, John McDonald, Antonio McCumber, Mark Anthony Malsenia, Inigo Montacon, Christian Marrero, Melissa Maxon, Catherine McDonald, Rafael Minerbo, Trevor Mooney, Albert Moreno, Daniel Marino, Julie Morgan, Nicholas Mosca, Alexis Newman, Duck Gray No, Dunkun Oke, Benjamin Paley, Yuna Park, Jordan Pasquin, Brandon Patrick, Peter J. Pizzino, Julian Odell Pinelli, Maria Juliana Ponton Fraley, Jesse Bren Putnam, Claudio Reyno, Sergio Ramos, Lauren Xavier Rivers, Julian Rodriguez, Roy Rodriguez, Julian Mooring, Fiona Rua, Hector Eduardo Santiler Camilo, Justin Salisbury, Janina Antonia Solorio, Kevin Scollins, Alexis Seiler, Mitchell Celeb, Nalai Sin, Juhi Shin, Joe Sprunt, Ian Steed, Natalie Renee Sullivan, Jonah Summerfield, Jacob Umansky, Maria Siebert Wadman, Lidzo Wong, Chan Wong, Morgan Weidinger, Zach Weinstein, Tayward Wider, Jeremy Walda, Erica Yang, Sebastian Rodrigo Yoma Honores, Benjamin Young, Justin Zakryzik, Kaylee Zerker, Benjamin Zobel. Major in Performance and Professional Music, Christian Betancourt, Joaquin Eduardo Bustamante, Jerson Staley Gooden, Gabriela Sofia Gomez Esteves, Danae Greenfield, Hari Kim, Ole Kirking, Yat Hung Lung, Julian Picado. Major in Performance and Songwriting, Colin Itzakowski, Lily Lyons, Kathleen Mary Parks, Daniel T. Price, David Stewart, Daniel Jung, Major in Professional Music, Ryan Akafora, Blaze Adam, Alexander Agresti, Kari Janae Alaman, Joseph Anand, Adam Arangaran Antonor Cruz, Janine Antonellis, Louisa Arefyeva, John Burneth Aspen, Freddie Out Young, Tanya Balcasa, Carly Bartholomew, Luke Bergamini, Gabriel Bergman, Brendan Bird, Sebastian Busio, Gabriela Cabasis, Elith Chakut, Andrew Caputandis, Mitchell Cardoza, Allegra Michelle Carter, Marquez Cassidy, Chase Underwood Segley, Sagar Chandrasekhar, Marcus Chang, Jose Mauricio Chavez Blas, Lionel Jiang, Christopher Kao Wei Chua, Ryan Edward Clancy, Kenneth Pierce Clark, Thomas Clifford, David Kola, Kevin Kumaraswamy, Adwele Kaur, Olivia Creighton, Paul Robert Cronin, Hannah Crowley, Harley Cullen, Haley Christina Cullers, Mira Demirkin, Andrea Diaz, Jason Dietz, Nicole Marie Dillman Garcia de Paredes, Adam DeCipio, Amelia Genevieve Donovan, Lydia Downard, William Louis Eggleston Jr., Miriam Haljajli Rodriguez, Idel Irazo Marquez, Jaime Estelea, Kayla Finelli, Jonathan R. Feeney, James Fernanda, Mariana Seca, Connor Frowley, Justin Michael Gates, Connor Ginger, Giovanni Giusti, Gustavo Gonzalez Ruiz, Samuel Gossner, Robert Michael Hadley, Eli Hanley, Samuel Harris, Colin Hart, Rosemary Grace Hayes, Ilana Ann Hedrick, Ross Hodgkinson, Kiana Holmes, Siwan Hong, Lihi Ish Shalom, Jacob Ishler, Cedric Dwayne Jackson II, William Jensen, Juliana Kauter, Justin Kelly, Shunghung Kim, Madeline Kirby, Stephen Connect, Harshitha Krishnan, Kimberlea Godleski Christie, Ansley Hunter Lamar, Jonathan Lawson, Susan Lehman, Ashley Lewis, Zachary Todd Lewis, Kelvin Limwell, Yuchi Lin, David Lokasho, Austin Teresa Makasheb, Alfredo Marasco, Sherry Montelero, Taylor Michelle Martin, Michael Martinez, Evan Masterman, Donovan Augustus McLean, Jonathan Mendoza, Caitlin Merritt, Colin Moore, Salvador Blaje Montiel, Alexandro Munoz, Jesse Leith Monroe, John Murray, Simon Ung, Madeline Nugent, Jennifer Obiahan, Bengisu Olnal, Jonathan Lamont Page, Simon Pajaro, Stephanie Parsons, Bridget Carey Perez, Craig James Petroselli II, Natasha Peko, Aura Maia Anastina Pineda, Darren Poindexter, Shai Portugali, Natalie Ann Quevedo, Derek Ian Ramos, Christian Rurela, Lindsay Foster Rhodes. Nathan Ricks. Sana Rifai. Jordan Rinchera. Heather Amanda Rivas. Sandra Rivera. Madeline Rosenthal. Tony Saputo. Liz G. Saria. Blake James Sayer. John Sheehy. Al Shakeli. Avinash Shukla. Riley Snyder. Ryan So. Hudson Stanton. Antone Eriki Sten. Joseph Avila Sugru. Timoth Somendep. Zed Tabani. Giacomo Kavanagh Timbrello. Lars Tronum Arnegard. Diego Tapia. Jared Title. Nicholas Vallin. Tomas Vallejo. Monica Valley. Alexander Demetrius Vance. Joshua Vasquez. Julian Velasco. Sierra Nicole Ventura. Noah Blessing. Hani Wang. Ryan Watanabe. Edward White. Noah Whiteside. Christian Alexander Whiteley. Evan Wiersbicki. Herman Alex Williams IV. Alex Winter. Heather Dawn Warden. Walker Wright. Harrison Yo. Henry Young. Gabriel Zutro. Major in Professional Music and Songwriting. Leo Kramer. Ellie Gowden. Major in Songwriting. David Adams. Natalie Oculus. Roger Amorus Delanto. Abigail Julia Anastasio. Julia Batiston. Paige Bivens Rose. Aaron Brown. Javier Busquet. Angelique Carswell. Eva Cassell. Christopher Catania. Y.M. Chen. Kyle Cortez. Trevor DeVerte. Adam Reedy Dobkin. Niles Elliott. Sierra Fazio. Ray Forbes. Martin Friedel. Liliana Gagnon. Chris Gleckman. Elise Go. Aubrey Harris. Ben Higginbotham. Robert Trey Hughes. Stevie Island. Aaron Lenz Jarvis. Mafaro Kambarami. Luan Krasniki. Jessica LaCoy. Rachel LeBlanc. Josh Juhan Lee. Bailey Liang. Chloe Lowe. Noah J. Lubert. Isabella Marcille. Emily Martin. Lauren McNutt. Usa Min. Rob Murdoch. Parker Nornis. Jack O'Brien, Jose Ortiz, Nisma Osman, Richmond Pamantuan, Vieira Rivera, Luke Robinson, Josie Rosales, George William Russell III, Jasmine Segubil, Mafalda Sagahunina Koberga Nadal, Adam Sapira, Caitlin Savari, Danny Silberstein, Taisha Simpson, Min Ju Song, Caitlin Sparks, Madeline St. Germain, Callie Sullivan, Atalio Tedoldi, Jacob Casey Torrey, Bailey Trahant, Matthew Jack Underwood, Adrian Alexander Venegas, Jiron Walls, and Jocelyn Wong Lizan.
Wait, hold on. We have a little more to do. Not much. Not much. Actually, we have a fun part coming up. Graduates, please move your tassels to the right, and congratulations. Thank you all. That concludes our program. Maestro, please strike up the band.